Hello students, so I'm Dr. Neha Taneja and today I'm going to discuss a very important session which is an image-based session. So I've divided it into two parts. So the first part will focus on all the images of national health programs and also a few recent updates that I'll be including in this image-based session. Okay? So let us start with the first question. Now, basically, the motto of this session is to get you acquainted with all the images, okay? So, I've also put MCQs along with those images, okay, to make you understand, or suppose some image you won't be able to figure out, so those MCQs will help you understand, okay? Alright, so now that you can look over here, we'll be doing it MCQ oriented only, this image-based session, alright? Okay, so the first question over here is, which of the following diseases is not covered under surveillance in Integrated Disease Surveillance Project? Okay, so now look over here, guys. This is the question that is asked, and this is the image of Integrated Disease Surveillance Project. Okay, so look over here, the image is IDSP. Now, in your entrance examination over here, I have shown you, or it's written over here IDSP. But when you get this image in your entrance examination, alright, you will not be getting this IDSP written. Okay, you will just be getting this image. So this image is of Integrated Disease Surveillance Project. Okay, I'll tell you what is P form, L form and S form. Okay, now for the answer to this is, whenever you have diseases which are included, the correct answer over here is snake bite. Okay, snake bite is not included under Integrated Disease Surveillance Project. You have a lot of diseases which are included, all right, in IDSP program. Okay, and over here I just want to tell you that acute respiratory tract infections, tuberculosis, all these are part of surveillance of Integrated Disease Surveillance Project. Now, what is surveillance? Surveillance, we all know, is a continuous scrutiny which is conducted to look out for cases of a disease, okay, to supplement our database, our database with those cases of those disease, and finally prepare a report and circulate that report to higher authorities, and accordingly action could be taken. All right, now there are types of surveillance. What types of surveillance happens in IDSP? Okay, it's a syndromic surveillance, which is a diagnosis which is made on the basis of clinical pattern by paramedical personnel and members of the community. Okay, so this is a diagnosis which is done, which is simply made on the basis of clinical pattern by the paramedical personnel. Okay, paramedical personnel means if an ASHA worker sees somebody having cough more than 2 weeks, okay, this could also be 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks duration, she can suspect him to be a tuberculosis case. If somebody having fever, okay, they can suspect them to be a malaria case. So based on, the clinical pattern that a paramedical personnel observes, okay, it is called as a syndromic surveillance, okay, like AFP cases, diarrhea, all that, okay. Next is presumptive. Presumptive diagnosis kya hota hai? It is a diagnosis made on typical history and clinical examination by medical officer. So when a diagnosis of any disease in a community is made by medical officer, usko hum bolte hain presumptive diagnosis. Alright, then confirmed. Obviously, confirmed diagnosis will be made only based on appropriate laboratory test, okay. So these are some of the extra golden points along with the image. Okay, so what is syndromic surveillance, what is presumptive surveillance, and what is confirmed surveillance. Also, now in the question you saw L form. Okay, so there are certain reporting formats under IDSP, which is S is for suspected cases, P is for presumptive cases, and L is for laboratory confirmed cases. So S, the suspected case format, is filled by the health workers. Okay, P, which is the presumptive cases, that is the data which is generated by clinicians/medical officer. All right, and L is the laboratory confirmed cases, which is generated by the laboratory staff or based on lab examination or tests. Is it clear? So this was the first image. Just go through this image again. This is the picture of IDSP. All right, this you must know. And please remember one more thing. Yes, surveillance is also being done for non-communicable diseases now, and that is basically also known as regular periodic surveys, okay, in which we take anthropometry measurements. We conduct we conduct surveys where we ask about various lifestyle factors, okay. So that is an additional point. Now let us come to the second question. Yes, the second question is, what is the duration of treatment of previously treated tuberculosis patients under National Tuberculosis Elimination Program? Now, when we had studied National Tuberculosis Elimination Program, I told you that earlier it was called as Revised National Tuberculosis Control Program. Look over here. This was the earlier image, okay, RNTCP. Now, why did I give you this image as question? Because now this image has been changed, and it is, the program name was changed some time back, which is National Tuberculosis Control Program, and now the image has also been launched, okay, which has come into play only from 21st September 2020. Okay, so this is one of the recent updates also, and this is one of the most important images that could come in your examination. So look over here. This is the new image, all right, of National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. ठीक है, यहाँ पे this small picture denotes lung infection. ठीक है, this denotes the flag of India. All right, entire India has to be free from tuberculosis. That is what we focus on, and there are a lot of programs that we are other than National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. You will be seeing one of the other images also, which is of JEET strategy, which is Joint Efforts for Elimination of TB, which is one of the latest initiatives launched to control TB. You will also be looking at the image of NTB, all right, which are different initiatives taken to control TB. So over here, this is the latest image. You should also know this, that in the previous image, which was of RNTCP, what was the tagline? Pura course, pakka ilaj. ठीक है. In the correct National Tuberculosis Elimination Program, what is the tagline? देख लेना, it might be asked, okay, TB हारेगा, देश जीतेगा. All right, so this is the tagline for certain, for certain images, for certain national health programs. We must know the taglines also. Okay, now just to make you, answer this question that I've given you, they could straight away give you this image and ask you identify which national health program it belongs to, or something like this. So now this is the symbol of National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. I have asked you what is the duration of treatment of previously treated tuberculosis patients under National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. Now, this is one of the latest update also that I'm going to provide you in this image-based session only, that initially what you used to have, I'll put it here for you, we used to have separate category 1 and category 2. ठीक है, category 2 patients कौन होते थे? Who were category 2 patients? Category 2 patients were previously treated TB patients. All right. Now, under this program, we no longer have this category 2 patients. Okay. Category 2, the previously treated TB patients are no longer, we have them in a separate category. Previously treated TB patients have been included in category 1 only, along with the new cases. Okay. So, category 1 includes new cases and previously treated TB patients both. So, how many categories altogether we have now in tuberculosis? So under National Tuberculosis Elimination Program, we have what is known as category 1, all right, and we have category 4 and we have category 5. ठीक है, category 1 हो गया all the new cases, okay, plus the previously treated cases. Okay, new cases plus the previously treated cases, all right. And what is 4? 4 is MDR TB cases and 5 is the XDR TB cases. All this we have studied when we were talking about National Health Program. So now the question mein वापस आओ, what does it say? It tells us what is the duration of treatment. Okay. Now the duration of treatment of this category 1, okay, which is both new and previously treated TB patients. Okay. The duration of treatment is nothing but 6 months. Okay. 2 HRZE plus 4 HRE. Okay, now initially we used to have a separate category 2, but now since category 2 has been included in category 1 only, the duration of treatment is 6 months. Is it all right, everybody? So this you should know. All right. Okay, so this was the second logo of a very important health program, National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. Okay, now look at the third symbol. What is this symbol? Symbol depicts which national health program. So like I said, the first question that you get from National Health Program is the symbol and what it depicts. Okay, so does it depict National Tuberculosis Elimination Program? Does it depict National Leprosy Eradication Program? Does it depict National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program or National AIDS Control Program? Okay, now this symbol where you see a lotus, okay, this is nothing but National Leprosy Eradication Program. Okay, this symbol of lotus actually represents what? This represents hope and care. Is it clear? Hope and care of patients of leprosy, okay, and that complete cure is possible in case of leprosy patients. Okay, so this was the third image. Remember, a lotus in hand, okay, is nothing but National Leprosy Eradication Program. Okay, chalo, let's go to the fourth question. Very important one. So what do you see here? See, I have given you the question, how many diseases are included in National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program? Now look at the image over here. Yahan pe you can see it's written National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. In your examination, of course, this National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program will not be written. Okay, you will simply be getting this image. So what do you see in this image? Here you can see a mosquito. All right, a vector over here, which is a mosquito, and this is a ring. So what does this ring denote? This ring denotes an overall protection of this entire family from this mosquito. Okay, so this is nothing but symbol of National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. And how many diseases are included in National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program? So it is how many diseases? It is 6 diseases. Okay, यहाँ पे देखो NVBDCP. So NVBDCP, so it has 6 letters, therefore it has 6 diseases. Just for your quick revision, I've written it down for all of you. What are the vector-borne diseases? Malaria. The vector is female Anopheles. Filariasis. The vector is Culex quinquefasciaticus, or also you can call it as Culex fatigans. Then you have dengue. Dengue में क्या है? Aedes aegypti. Then you have Kala Azar, which is sandfly. Then you have Japanese encephalitis, which is Culex tritineorhynchus. All right, and chikungunya fever, which is Aedes aegypti. So anybody if asks you how many diseases are included under the National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program, remember there are 6 letters and 6 diseases. Okay, let's have a look at the symbol once again. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next question. Yes, the goal of NHM is, this is an image of NHM. NHM क्या है? National Health Mission. Okay, so can you see, this is the sun rays and this is the entire family holding a baby in between, a child in between. Okay, so the goal of National Health Mission is to reduce maternal mortality ratio to 1 per 1,000 live births, 1 per 10,000 live births, 1 per 1 lakh live births, or 0.5 per 1 lakh live births. Okay, so over here you have to remember that what is the goal over here? So this is the figure of National Health Mission. Okay, now remember the goal of National Health Mission is, देखो, National Health Mission was constituted when? National Health Mission was constituted in 2013. Okay, what we used to have, the first thing that came was National Rural Health Mission. Okay, National Rural Health Mission was launched in 2005. For what was it launched? National Rural Health Mission that was launched in 2005 was launched to cater to the rural health system of India. Okay, the villages and all. Then in 2013, what happened? It was seen that we were missing on the urban population. Urban means people who are residing on urban slums, resettlement colonies, who are migrating and coming and putting up in these urban areas. All right. So for that, we launched a national urban health mission in 2013. Okay. Then both this rural component and urban component, okay, were taken together and they were put under, or they became a part of wider umbrella which is known as National Health Mission. Is it all right, everybody? So National Health Mission was launched in 2013 to cater to both the rural and urban components. Now the question that was asked is, what is the goal of National Health Mission in terms of maternal mortality ratio? Okay. So, in terms of maternal mortality ratio, this is M, alright, we want to reduce our maternal mortality ratio to 1 per 1,000 live births. They can also ask you, what is the goal to reduce infant mortality rate under NHM? So that goal is to reduce it to 25 per 1,000 live births. And the third one is to reduce total fertility rate to how much? 2.1. Currently, the total fertility rate is, this is one of the recent updates also, I'll tell you, currently the total fertility rate of your country is 2.2. What is the maternal mortality ratio of your country currently? It is 113 per 1 lakh live births. All right. Now, listen to me very carefully. In the definition of maternal mortality ratio, okay, what is the definition of maternal mortality ratio? This is nothing but the number of maternal deaths, all right, upon live births, but how much? Per 1 lakh. Is it clear? Per 1 lakh live births, number of maternal deaths per 1 lakh live births. Alright, therefore the current maternal mortality ratio, the latest update, the recent update, or the the revision in your, or for your country in terms of maternal mortality ratio is 113 per 1 lakh live births. But when, NHM was formulated in 2013, then it had set the goal to reduce maternal mortality ratio to how much? To 1 per 1,000 live births. Okay. So in the option, I also gave you 1 per 1 lakh live births. So please remember, the goal of maternal mortality ratio was to reduce the MMR to 1 per 1,000 live births. Okay. But the definition of it mentions it as number of maternal deaths per 1 lakh live births. Okay. This is the point I want to emphasize on. And of course, I have shown you the symbol. Chalo, let's go to the next question now. What is the new change in National Program on Prevention and Control of Diabetes, Cardiovascular Diseases and Stroke? Alright. So the option number A is opportunistic screening. B is awareness of lifestyle and behavior related diseases. C is specialized units at medical colleges. And D is integration with National Cancer Control Program. Now, the purpose of me giving you this question is to make you understand, or to show you the symbol of, look over here, what is this symbol? It is National Program for NPCDCS. So many times, you can also be asked the full form of this program. What is NPCDCS? So what is NPCDCS? I have written it, or it is mentioned over here. National Program for Prevention and Control of, C stands for cancer, D stands for diabetes. Okay, again the other C stands for what? This stands for cardiovascular diseases. Okay, cardiovascular diseases, and S stands for stroke. Am I clear, everybody? So what is the new change in national program, or what was the change? Okay. The change was that earlier the cardiovascular component, the stroke and diabetes was kept as one part of the program. Okay, cancer was not a part of it. Okay, this point, integration with National Cancer Control Program, was done later. All right. Even before we used to have opportunistic screening. Opportunistic screening, what is the meaning of that? That anybody who's above the age of 30 visits a health center, we should make use of that opportunity, and we should screen that person for any non-communicable diseases, all right, lifestyle related disorders. So that was a part of the program before also. Then awareness of lifestyle and behavior related diseases, this was also a part. Then specialized units at medical colleges, we definitely have. We have cardiac care units in medical colleges and all that. Okay, but what was new, or what was the latest change? It was that National Cancer Control component became a part of this NPCDCS program. Okay, so look at this image. What are these people what does this image reflect? There are three people and they've raised their hands, which reflects health in your hands. Okay, so again you should remember this symbol, and in Hindi what it's written, aapki sehat aapke haath. All right, so you must know both in English and Hindi what it means, but at least you should know the motto which is written in English, the theme of this program. Okay, so we have seen some of the images of a lot of important health programs so far. Let us proceed forward. Now, here you can see in this question there's no image. Okay, there can be an image also, but I've not given you the image here. I will show you the image. Okay, the question is 6x6 strategy targets which disease? HIV, tuberculosis, anemia, or malaria? Okay, so the point is, what is the 6x6 strategy? So look over here. 6x6 strategy is for Anemia Mukt Bharat. All right, Anemia Mukt Bharat, what is the other name for it? It is INIPI. ठीक है, INIPI मतलब क्या होता है? What is it? It is intensified national, ठीक है, iron plus initiative. Am I clear, everybody? So INIPI is nothing but it is the program of it is the other name for Anemia Mukt Bharat only, and this is intensified national iron plus initiatives. Now what is 6x6 strategy? That means it has 6 beneficiaries, which you'll be seeing now. It also has 6 institutional mechanisms and 6 interventions. Okay, so Anemia Mukt Bharat uses a 6x6 strategy to combat anemia. This was launched by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. All right, everybody. So this is the figure of Anemia Mukt Bharat, and look over here. This is the symbol. I'll show you a bigger symbol. Okay, so this is the symbol of Anemia Mukt Bharat. All right, so this is over here you can see the full image. Okay, so here also it comes like this. All right, this is red color. All right, like this. Okay, so this is the symbol of Anemia Mukt Bharat. So students, you must know the symbol of Anemia Mukt Bharat, and you must also know this one, this diagram of 6x6 strategy. So now the important point is, who are the 6 beneficiaries and what are the interventions we are making? All right, so I'll show you over here in the form of a question. Okay, the question is, what is the prophylactic dose of iron and folic acid for pregnant females under Anemia Mukt Bharat? Your options are A, 100 milligram elemental iron and 500 microgram folic acid. Option B, 45 milligram elemental iron and 400 microgram folic acid. ठीक है. Option C, 60 milligram elemental iron and 500 microgram folic acid. Option D, 20 milligram elemental iron and 100 microgram folic acid. ठीक है. Now, in this question is going to take us to who the beneficiaries are and what are we doing for them. Okay, the correct answer to this is 60 milligram elemental iron and 500 microgram folic acid. But since we are giving it to pregnant females, so do we give it daily or do we give it weekly? My question to all of you is, think for 1 second, is the prophylactic dose of iron and folic acid given daily or is it given weekly? So of course 60 milligram elemental iron and 500 microgram folic acid for a pregnant lady is given daily. So how could this question have come the other way around? They could have written the same option, 60 milligram elemental iron and 500 microgram folic acid daily, and the other option could have been 60 milligram elemental iron and 500 microgram folic acid weekly. Okay? So this is how the correct answer to this is. Now look over here. In this slide, a very important slide, you're going to see all the beneficiaries and what exactly we are giving them. Okay, so for children who are up to 5 years, okay, 6 to 59 months, the prophylactic dose of iron consists of 20 milligram elemental iron and 100 microgram folic acid. This is given bi-weekly, and usually up to 5 years we give it in the form of bottles. Okay, bottles mein syrup hota hai, we give it in the form of syrup. Alright, then after that 5 to 9 years children, we give iron, 45 milligram elemental iron and 400 microgram folic acid. Okay? This is given weekly. Alright, then 10 to 19 year adolescents, we give 60 milligram elemental iron and 500 microgram folic acid. Okay, so this is also given weekly. This is given both to boys and girls. Is it clear? And this is also given in the schools. We can give it in the form of or under the program WIFS, weekly iron folic acid supplementation. Okay, let me write it here. Weekly iron, alright, weekly iron folic acid supplementation. Okay, so this is known as what is known as WIFS program. Okay, under this we give under this we give 60 milligram elemental iron and 500 microgram of folic acid to adolescent boys and girls. Okay, that is also given weekly. Then you have non-pregnant and non-lactating mothers. Okay, for non-pregnant and non-lactating mothers, this could also be written as reproductive age females. Okay, so this is also nothing but reproductive age females. So reproductive age females is 15 to 49 years. Okay, so for 20 to 49 years women or reproductive age females 15 to 49 years of age, we give iron, 60 milligram elemental iron and 500 microgram folic acid weekly. But for a pregnant and lactating mothers, we give 60 milligram elemental iron and 500 microgram folic acid daily. Is it clear? This is very important, and this is what the MCQ asked, that what do we give as prophylactic dose? So we give 60 milligram elemental iron and 500 microgram folic acid daily. Now they might show you this image and they might ask you about deworming schedule, because in Anemia Mukh Bharat, okay, we also have what is known as, we are providing deworming. Okay, deworming with what we are doing deworming? With albendazole. Okay, so less than 2 years children, up to 2 years children, okay, we do deworming biannually. Biannually means 2 times in a year. Okay, we do it with half tablet of albendazole. Okay, half tablet means 200 milligram HS albendazole is given. Alright, after 2 years हम कैसे देते हैं? After 2 years, anybody who takes albendazole, we give a full dose. Okay, full dose मतलब 400 milligram tablet HS is given. Okay, anybody who is more than 2 years. Is it clear? So a full dose of albendazole is given. That again is given to everybody biannually. Okay, every 6 months. But a question comes, if to pregnant females, when do we give albendazole? So to pregnant females, we give albendazole, 1 full tablet we can give HS. Okay, when do we give it? In the 2nd trimester. Okay, this is important. To pregnant females, we give it in the 2nd trimester. Is it clear? Okay, so this was very important. You must know the image of this Anemia Mukh Bharat, and 6 into 6 into 6 strategy is to tackle anemia. Alright, let's go to the next question. Yes. Now, the question is, look at the image over here. Vision of Poshan Abhiyan is to attain malnutrition-free India by which year? So this is the image of Poshan Abhiyan. Poshan Abhiyan was a scheme, was an initiative which was launched in 2018, supposed to run till 2022. Okay, the other name for Poshan Abhiyan, just like Anemia Mukt Bharat, the other name is INIPI, Intensified National Iron Plus Initiative. Poshan Abhiyan ko, what do we call it as? We call it as National Nutrition Mission. Is it all right? Okay, this is the other name, and we've launched it in 2018. We want to achieve a malnutrition free India by 2022. This is the figure of it. Okay, which ministry is, if I ask you, which ministry is responsible for this? So it is Ministry of Women and Child Development. Okay, now, this is the main ministry that is looking after this program, all right? And the other name for this is National Nutrition Mission 2018 to 22. Now, what actually we are targeting? Look over here, everybody. Okay, under this program, which is a National Nutrition Mission, or you can also call it as Poshan Abhiyan. Okay, what are we trying to do? We have to reduce stunting. Okay, this is stunting. Okay, stunting. So, what is stunting? Stunting is nothing but height for age. Okay, so we have to reduce stunting by 2%. Okay, then the next is reduce undernutrition by 2%. So what is undernutrition, guys? It is weight for age. All right, so that is undernutrition or underweight. All right, then we are also trying to reduce low birth weight by 2%. Okay, low birth weight by 2%. So both stunting, underweight and low birth weight by 2%. Look at anemia. This could come as a question. We are trying to reduce anemia by how much percent? We are trying to reduce anemia by 3%. Is it clear? Now, please remember one more additional point, that when we talk about anemia under National Nutrition Mission or Poshan Abhiyan, anemia under this program is being catered to by what? By Anemia Mukt Bharat only. Is it clear? Alright, Anemia Mukt Bharat is a part of this bigger program. All right. In that, we are trying to reduce anemia by providing those prophylactic doses. So, Anemia Mukt Bharat is a smaller part of a bigger umbrella, which is National Nutrition Mission. Okay. Anemia Mukt Bharat is being looked by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare under National Nutrition Mission or Poshan Abhiyan. But that Poshan Abhiyan or National Nutrition Mission has been launched by Ministry of Women and Child Development. Okay. So, this is very important. This is the symbol of Poshan Abhiyan.